everybody. This is Lord Tremendous. I got another battle report here for you. 2,200 point battle. It's a Rock Wars GT prep type of deal against my Wood Elf opponent. That's right. This is the same opponent that pretty much tabled me last time. I think all I had left was my Sorcerer Lord, so I'd be lying to you if I said I didn't go into this game with a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. I was definitely, you know, I don't like Elves as it is. Don't get me wrong. My opponent's a great individual, really good guy, a lot of fun to play against. But he plays Elves. He plays Wood Elves, and they damn near tabled me last time, so I might have gone a little aggressive in this game, and, well, you'll see how that works out for me. But, yeah, 2,200 point battle. Lord Tremendous of the Warriors of Chaos, that's me, versus Warlock of the Leaves of the Wood Elves. This is my list, and yes, I have done some changes because, to be perfectly honest with you, I missed the Demon Prince. And, you know, the wife asked me why I stopped using them and stuff, and I felt bad. So, my Demon Prince, Lord Tremendous, has returned. And he's got my basic kit. Mark Zinch, level 4 Wizard, Chaos Armor, Charm Shield, Dragonbane Gem, other Trickster Shards, Soul Feeder, Scaled Skin, Flaming Breath, and Allure Metal. I didn't give him wings because, number one, I was running low on points, and number two, I'm so used to leadership or movement 8 and stuff like that, and not being able to fly. I don't really see the point, you know, and it's 40 points, so I had to choose a level 4 for 35 points or flying on a level 3 for 40 points, and I decided to save 5 points and become a level 4. Movement 8 is still really good. Not to mention, you know, Unbreakable and Soul Feeder and Flaming Red. Yeah, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. And I decided to go with Laura Metal over Laura Zinch because I like Enchanted Blades and Glittering Robes, so I went with that. My hero choices are pretty much, well, one is the same. My Exalted Hero, Lady Elizabeth, she will never change. She's got the Mark Zinch, Chaos Deed, BSB, Halberd, Helm of Many Eyes, Dawnstone, and Poisonous Slime. And, of course, my new addition is my rendition of Cass. It's an Exalted Hero, Cass the Renewed. He's got the Mark Zinch, he's on a Demonic Mount, he's got a Halberd, he's got the Talisman of Preservation, and a Third Eye Zinch. And this is the typical Hortense build. It's a 3-up rerolling, 1 ward save type of guy with toughness 5 and 3 wounds. It's, you know, the ultimate hero choice for Warriors of Chaos. And I went with Cass the Renewed because I felt bad that in 2,200 points I couldn't fit the Nurgle Knights in or anything like that, but I figured, you know what? He's in my army. Cass has really no control over how I decide to honor him in my army, so he's going to be my War Machine Hunter / Hortense type build guy. And you know what? I believe deep down inside he's going to be okay with that. And if not, I'm just going to ignore his emails. So, yeah. My core choices consist of 5 Warhounds, the Manipulative Mutts, and they're butt naked. 18 Chaos Warriors, Blood Tide, Mark Korn, Halberds, Full Command, and the Banner of Rage, and 15 Forsaken that have yet to be named because I just haven't thought of a cool enough name for them yet. My special choice consists of my 5 Chaos Knights, Elizabeth's Honor Guard with Mark Zinch and Sorcerer's Weapons, Band of Musician, and the Standard of Discipline, and my rare choice, which is the one, the only, the Mutalith Vortex. Gotta love the beast. My opponent's list, he actually didn't say anything about me not putting it up there or anything like that. I just completely forgot to get his list. So, yeah, this one's on me. Sorry. Here are my spells, all 4 from Metal, and they're the good ones. And here are his spells, 3, and he went with Lore of Dark Magic this time, I believe, which I think he was just trying it out. I don't think it was really any tactic or strategy. I think he was just like, well, I tried high magic last time. It worked really good. Let's see what dark magic does for me. And, well, we all get to see what it did for him. Here's deployment. For the most part, he's got 3 forests. The one was his free one, and that's the one on his side of the board. And, of course, they're all venomous. And the other 2 closest to me are the ones from the Acorn. That's where they ended up landing. They're all venomous. They're all right in front. And basically, The way I deployed was my knights were going to shoot up his right flank, my left, and the idea there was to either get him into the archers or the treekin or whatever. I knew I was going to take dangerous terrain checks. I knew I was probably going to lose a bunch of models to him, so I just accepted it and decided I put my big wound, or my high wound count models near the forest, and everything else with only one wound will try to circumvent the forest the best I can. Without tree singing, it shouldn't be too hard. So the knights went on the left flank to go over the hill type thing. I know it looks like ruins, but we decided it wasn't dangerous terrain, which was valuable enough for me, so that's the way the knights were going. The beast, the demon prince, and the hortense, and Cass, basically, were going to go through the forest. I knew they were going to take dangerous terrain. They all have some sort of ward or regen, so they've got a chance to block it. I really wasn't overly concerned because it had just been one wound, but all of them were going to go through the forest, and they were going to try to get a hold of the Wild Riders or accept a charge from the Wild Riders, with the hope that they could take whatever they dished out and were able to just decimate those things. That was the plan there. The dogs, the Forsaken, and the Corn Warriors were all there. If you see the dice, the Corn Warriors are actually not there. They're over where the dice are placed. Just physics and the way the mountain, or that Citadel Hill is shaped, it kept slipping off. So the dice actually mark where they are, where the front of their base is. But that's why the Corn Warriors are there, and that's not actually where they're at. But their plan was to shoot that little bottleneck between the forest and come in on the flank. I was basically going to let the Forsaken and the dogs go through. The Corn Warriors, if I went first, were going to feign like they weren't paying attention to the to the Wild Riders that you see on my right flank there, kind of near the hut. And then turn and try to deal with them that way, because I wasn't going to take them in the flank again if I could help it. Meanwhile, the Forsaken and the dogs were just going to try to shoot up the middle there and get a hold of the elves as quick as possible. Here's my opponent's center from left to right. I believe those are just regular archers of some sort, and they had the -3 to your armor save arrows. I think the Bodkins ones. He's got 4 treekin in the forest there. He's got a unit of Eternal Guard with his BSB. No, his... He's got a Spellsinger in there, and he's got his General in there, I believe. And then right next to them is another unit of archers. They have the Poison Hag arrows, and they have the BSB in there. He's got his Tree Man. In the forest in front there is a unit of his Wild Riders. And on his left flank, he's got his second unit of Wild Riders. So, yeah, he's got 2 units now, and that's not a surprise at all. Here's my right flank. As you can see, there's my dogs, my Forsaken, and my Corn Warriors. Once again, they're actually placed where the dice are, not where they're sitting. Here's my center, which consists of Cass and my Demon Prince. And my left flank, which consists of my Knights with Lady Elizabeth and the Beast. Here's top of 1 after movement, and as you can see, I got to go first, and I did not squander that opportunity. The Forsaken and the dogs move up straight up the middle there as fast as they can. The Corn Warriors feign like they're going with them. Cass and the Demon Prince both dive into the forest. The Demon Prince actually takes 2 dangerous terrain checks and passes them both. Saval fails his, but is able to make his 3-up ward, and the Beast moves up just close enough to the Wild Riders to get his spell off. And of course, my Knights go flying up the left flank because they need to get a hold of these guys too quick. There's a better picture. I'm sorry, my Demon Prince and Cass did not move up into the forest. They tried to charge the Wild Riders, and they both needed relatively high. I think the Demon Prince needed an 8, and Saval needed a 9, or maybe they both needed 8. But bottom line is I failed. I was rolling low in the beginning. It was ugly. But yeah, the Demon Prince and Cass both failed their charge into the Wild Riders, which sucks, and that's where they ended up. Sorry, I got it confused. During the magic phase, I open up with my signature move of, 5 to 6 dice, final transmutation at his biggest brick, and it goes off on the Eternal Guard, and I think I kill like 6 of them, which isn't bad needing 6s. It's pretty good, actually. And, the 12-inch bubble of stupidity, which I'll let you know right now, ends up not doing anything. But yeah, the Eternal Guard are down about a quarter of their strength. Well, down a quarter of their strength. They're still 3/4 full. But bottom line is, first blood goes to me, and if they win, hey, they get some parting gifts of about 6 elf-sized golden statues, which I don't know why I would do that. The resulting miscast 11, however... hurts me a little bit. It does. It hurts me a little bit. I end up losing one wizard level, and I lose final transmutation. Top of 1, not the best move in the world, but he's still a level 3. I've still got a bunch of spells. My opponent's only got a level 3, so we're even, but I don't like even fights. I want them really one-sided in my favor. But it is what it is. Got to deal with it. With no shooting or combat, we go to bottom of 1 after movement. Here you are. And his Wild Riders tried to charge. I believe his Treeman tried to charge my dogs who fled. No, his Wild Riders tried to charge my dogs. They fled. And then they redirected into the Beast, who was too close to the board edge. He was like 8 or 9 inches away from the board edge. And I was just feeling like it was a bad call. So I stayed. And thank the dark gods, the Wild Riders failed that charge. Meanwhile, his Treeman moves up, everything kind of moves up, and his Wild Riders on my right flank come spinning up to try to deal with the Forsaken, which was expected. Other than that, there's not a whole lot of moving because he's a Wood Elf. He doesn't really need to move. There's a better picture of the doggies fleeing away from the Wild Riders' charge. That was perfectly fine. Unfortunately, they never rally, and they flee off the table in a couple of turns. So if you don't see them again, that's why. And there's a better picture of the Wild Riders failing a charge, which is wonderful because it puts them in a beautiful position to be charged by me. And since the frenzy, they can't go anywhere. Outstanding. During his shooting phase, his magic phase is a wash. I'm able to stop all of it. He rolls roll. I think he rolls like a 3 or a 4 for his power dice, and then just rolls really low, and I'm able to squash it. But during his shooting phase, he shows me that unit in front there has the arcane bodkins, and they fire a whole bunch of shots at the knights, and he actually gets like 3 wounds through, but I'm able to save all but 1. So it sucks that I lost the knight, but it's awesome that I made as many saves as I did. With no more shooting and combat non-existent yet, we go into bottom of 2, and I charge. I wanted to get into these elves so bad because I had something to prove. Lord Tremendous, the Demon Prince, charges into the Wild Riders and makes it. Cass charges into the Tree Man and makes it. The Forsaken charge into the Tree Man and make it. The Beast and the Warriors start to turn around to try to get a better angle at the Wild Riders on my right flank. When I turned like this, it was the best I could do. I wanted to make sure that my Corn Warriors had the ability to charge either direction. If the Wild Riders charge them, they could take it in the front. If the Wild Riders charge the Forsaken in the rear, they could countercharge if they were still there. That was the hope. I did not realize when I moved them like this, though, that I was giving up a flank to the Wild Riders. Trust me, I was in the minority there. Everybody around the table that was watching this game saw my mistake and didn't say anything because we don't play like that. So, yeah, I screwed up here. The Beast ran over to try to deal with those Wild Riders, though, with his spell, and the Knights. It was a toss-up. I was thinking about charging the Eternal Guard, which I would have needed a 10 to roll in order to hit them. I thought about charging the Archers, but with it, the -3 arrows, only -1 to hit, I really didn't want to chance that. I was a little nervous. So my Knights ended up charging the safest thing they could, and they went after the Treekin because they're immune to psychology, so they can't flee. And I figured, yeah, I'm going to take a bunch of dangerous terrain checks, but I'd rather take those than take 3 or 4 more wounds from -3 armor save arrows from the archers. Plus, getting rid of the Treekin was huge. So they charged, they made it, and I actually passed all my dangerous terrain checks, which is probably a first for me. There's a better picture of the Forsaken and Cass slamming into the Tree Man, which is awesome because he had to die. There's a better picture of Tremendous slamming into the Wild Riders, which is awesome because they have to die. And he does take his dangerous terrain checks, 2 of them, and passes both of them. And here's a better picture of Lady Elizabeth and her knight retinue charging into the Treekin, making it. And actually, I stand corrected. The Tzeentch Knights all made their save. Lady Elizabeth failed and actually took 1 wound. So that sucks, but it is what it is. And right here, during the magic phase, I get Glittering Robe and Enchanted Blades off on my Forsaken, making them just straight champions as far as I'm concerned. They now have a 2-up armor and +1 to hit with armor piercing. So as long as I didn't roll armor piercing, I was going to be good to go. We go into combat after this point because I'm not going to elect to shoot. And yeah, Lord Tremendous obliterates the Wild Riders. He takes all their attacks in stride, 1 up, 5 up. He doesn't even get a wound through. I slaughter all 5 of them. I overrun and I slam into his archers that have his BSB in there. I am excited. I take another dangerous terrain check for moving through his forest, pass it, slam into the archers, and just can't wait till just unleash the fury. Over here in combat, my Forsaken end up getting poison, which is awesome. I am able to put 2 or 3 wounds through on the Treeman. He does make a bunch of armor saves, and he does make a bunch of ward saves, actually, even though it's a 6-up. But I still take him down to about half of his wounds, if not a little bit less, which is great as far as I'm concerned. But he does make his break check and stick around. However, it's going the right direction, and in the end, I only really lost 1 guy, and that was hugely thanks to Glittering Robes. During the combat over here with the Knights and the Treekin, I end up losing a Knight. I put 5 wounds, I think, onto the Treekin. With charge, 5 wounds, 2 banners to 1 wound. I win by a landslide. And then I run them down when they break. However, I do lose a Knight to dangerous terrain. Hey, you know what? I'm consistent. What can I tell you? So yeah, I lose a Knight to dangerous terrain. I get a hold of his Treekin, though, and that's a good thing. So we go to bottom of 2 after movement, and as you can see, his Wild Riders, like I said, everybody saw the mistake in my movement other than me. So the Wild Riders slam into the flank of my Corn Warriors yet again, and at this point I was just disgusted with myself for making that kind of just a rookie mistake. But, you know, I did it to myself. What can you do? His Eternal Guard with his 2 characters turn to face the Forsaken cast Demon Prince mess that's happening on his center there. And his archers with the Arcane Bodkins do a swift reform, which I accomplish to shoot at the Knights. There's a better picture of the Wild Rider slamming into my Corn Warriors, and this kind of deja vu is the bad kind. I was just like, oh no, I know what's gonna happen. This is so bad. During his magic phase, he gets Word of Pain off on my Demon Prince, and he takes 3. It's the big one. He takes 3 off of most of his stats. And then during his shooting phase, he finishes off the rest of the Knights, which is a little bit poopy. It's a little bit poopy, I won't lie to you. Luckily, Lady Elizabeth, since she's stupid because of the Helm of Many Eyes, doesn't have to worry about her break check, which is really good because she would have failed it. I actually rolled a 10, and then I rolled a 9, and without the Standard of Discipline, which is currently laying on its side right now, she's only leadership 8, so she would have fled off the table, which sucks, but she's immune to psychology because she's stupid, and yay, life is good. We go into combat at that point, and we do this one, and it is brutal. Corn is thrilled. I mean, just absolutely thrilled. I lose 9 Corn Warriors and only kill 2 of his Wild Riders. 2! I actually did 3 wounds, but he saved 1 with the 6-up ward. Needless to say, he wins this one by a landslide. However, I have a rank, I'm steadfast, and I don't break. And then I turn to face them. You know what? It was so much fun the first time with all the blood and gore and body count. We figured, hey, let's kill some more. But yeah, a 160-point unit hitting me in the flank was able to cripple a almost 400-point unit. It's just insane how good Wild Riders are. But it's my own fault for being stupid like that. Over here, my Forsaken cast combo is able to kill off the Ancient Treeman, which is just outstanding. I think Cast puts another wound on him, and the Forsaken are able to slip theirs through. I believe in this situation they got armor piercing again, so oh well. But bottom line is it worked out. The Ancient Treeman is Diarte and Timber! Yeah, I like calling that out when I kill Treeman. Sorry. Over here in combat, Lord Tremendous unloads his fury into these guys. I end up killing 6 of them with thunderstomps and regular attacks. I do not use my flaming breath yet because honestly I forgot about it. They end up losing this combat because obviously they don't do anything back to me. They're steadfast though, and they stick around. So we go to top of 3 after movement, and as you can see, it's pretty much more of the same. My beast runs over to try to get his spell off on the archers. Lady Elizabeth runs over to their side, so if they're going to shoot at her again, they have to turn to face her. And other than that, Cass charges into the Eternal Guard to stop them from charging into the Demon Prince next turn, just in case. Oh, and the Forsaken charge into the flank of the archers because I'm done with that combat. There's a better picture of the Forsaken charging into the archers to help finish them off. And there's a better picture of Cass slamming into the Eternal Guard to finish them off. During combat, because my magic phase is just null and voided and my shooting phase is non-existent, so we go into combat, and the Wild Riders, they are only able to kill 2 more Khorne Warriors, which is too many in my opinion, and I'm able to finish off the last 3 because with the Banner of Rage I don't lose Frenzy, and they're able to mulch the last 3 Wild Riders, but this unit has 7 guys left. That is an effective use of your fast cav. I'm sorry. I know some people are like, oh, they're so flimsy, and they're just still toughness 3 elves. Yeah, you show me another 160 point unit you can slam into a unit of Khorne Warriors and gut them. I mean, this unit really isn't going to be able to run into anything else and do anything to them with any real success, especially considering the elves always strike first. So, with a little bit better luck, or if both unit of Wild Riders had hit this unit, it would have been really bad, really fast. In combat over here against the archers, I use, I don't remember what the Forsaken got. I think it was armor save again. But bottom line is I kill all but 3 of them. Between Tremendous and the Forsaken, I lose 1 Forsaken. Tremendous makes all of his saves. All but a few of the elves die. They are not steadfast. They lose by a landslide. They break and get run down. Lord Tremendous ends up catching them. He slams into the Eternal Guard. The Forsaken charge after him, end up in the forest. I lose 2 or 3 more of them. To dangerous terrain because it is a venomous wood. Lord Tremendous makes his saves, or makes his dangerous terrain check, and now Lord Tremendous and Cass are into the Eternal Guard, slaying elves like champions! So yeah, we do this combat and we butcher things. Cass ends up in combat with his lord and takes 2 wounds. So Cass is hanging on by a thread. My Demon Prince just unleashes the fury, does his attacks, does his flaming breath, does his stomps. There's 3 Eternal Guard left, Spell Singer, and the General, and that's it. I win this combat, but they're steadfast and they stick. So we go to bottom of 3 after movement, and there's not a whole lot. The beast stays where he's at. Lady Elizabeth the archers that he had near Lady Elizabeth turn to face her because they're going to try to kill her. Other than that, everything he has is dead or in combat. During his magic phase, he gets Word of Pain off on the Demon Prince and takes 2 off of all of his stats. It was the big one. With his shooting phase, irrelevant. Lady Elizabeth is able to make all of her saves, and that's really about it. We go into combat. His Elf Lord is able to kill Cass, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. However, my Demon Prince kills all the rest of his unit. I end up winning this combat. They break, and they get caught by Lord Tremendous, who makes his dangerous terrain check. Bottom line is no elf survives my wrath. I remember these guys, and they all have to die horrible, horrible deaths. So we go to top of 4 after movement, and it's pretty much the inevitable. My Demon Prince slams into the archers, who make their terror check and stay. Lady Elizabeth then charges them as well, so that both sides are hit, and stops him from any kind of reforming or anything like that. And everything else just stays exactly where it's at because there's no reason to move them. We got this. There's a better picture of Lady Elizabeth and Lord Tremendous meeting at the end of the battle, to just split the elves between them. And as you can see, they do. And, my opponent was a good sport about it. He's actually the one that arranged the elves that way. It wasn't me. I was just going to take the picture of them being disappeared and Lady Elizabeth and Lord Tremendous just staring at each other lovingly into their... Well, I guess Lord Tremendous's eyes are covered up, but you get the idea. But no, we were laughing, having a good time and stuff like that. Everybody knows about my racism towards elves, so we're good. But, yep. All the elves got killed. There were no survivors, and... There it is. There's the end of the game. No elf left alive. Every single Wood Elf or Wood Elf affiliate was murdered in this game, and I give no apologies. Not a one. To hell with the elves. But we'll get to the recap in a minute because right now it's time for a quick timeout. Token time, everybody. Tokens. Check them out. All the tokens you could need for anything that you could possibly play. Warhammer 40k, Infinity, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Infinity, Malifaux, whatever you need tokens for, Token Gal can make the tokens. They're dirt cheap, guys. No more than $8 for a set, but they're solid gold quality. I mean, these are glass beads. They magnify the picture and the words. You've got wound counters. You've got status effects. You've got spell effects. +1 toughness, -1 strength. Whatever you need. She's got all the magic lores. She's got everything you need for any system that you play. She's got a email address you can send and be like, hey, I'm looking for this. And now she has a website. It's there at the bottom. I'm not going to bother reading it off because if you can't read, what the hell are you doing on the internet? Just seriously, though, check her out. Check out her website. Order yourself some tokens. It's totally worth it. You won't regret it. Hey guys, I know I've already talked to you about this before, but you should really check these pictures out because they were all painted, including my model, by Unleashed Wargaming. And they have their email right up there at the top of the page, and they've also got it down there. They got a YouTube channel. He's working on a website. It's not quite ready yet, but yeah, really, if you get a chance, check these guys out. If you're looking for someone to paint your stuff real good, seriously, check these guys out. Go to his, send him an email, check out his YouTube page. It's really worth your time. It's a phenomenal job. It's quick, it's painless. You don't have to worry about painting your stuff. And soon I'll be running a model that these guys painted for me, and I'm very excited about that. But check out these pictures. Give this guy an email. Check him out on YouTube. Get your models painted by him if you can. It's totally worth it. And tell him Tremendous sent you. As you guys already know, we are going to the Rock Wars GT. I will be there, so it's September 12th to the 14th. Totally excited to be going. If you're going to be there, if you just want to show up and say hey or whatever, I would love to meet you guys. I'm really enjoying doing these battle reports. I'm enjoying the comments. I'm enjoying the back and forth. And so, by all means, if you're there, you want to swing by, say hey, I would love that. Maybe we get a game in. I would be thrilled to be able to do a battle report with it. But yeah, definitely. If you guys are there and you want to meet up, hey, by all means, come say hi. You'll know my models. If you're interested in going, though, if you want to check it out, I think there's still some slots open. Check it out, rockwarsgt.com. It's right there. Real easy to type in. You should be able to figure it out. But yeah, guys, come check it out. Come say hi. Love to meet you. Yeah, I want to let you guys know about a new opportunity for you. It's called the Redstone Rumble. It's a major fantasy 40k Flames of War and War Machine event. It's in October 4th and 5th in Huntsville, Alabama. And I'm not going to be able to attend because I'm in the military and I'll be elsewhere during that time. Not for a long time, just unfortunately that particular week I'll be out of town, so I can't go. But my loss is your gain because my admission fee had been paid. So rather than let that go to waste, with the TOs and the event organizers for the Redstone Rumble, we have decided to do a giveaway. You want to go to the Redstone Rumble? Are you available to go October 4th and 5th? Do you want to play Fantasy at 2,500 points? A 40k tournament at 2,000 points? Flames of War or War Machine? Whatever the heck you want to play? You can have my ticket. The way we're doing a little bit of a giveaway. So basically, in order for you to win this free admission, and there'll only be one winner, I need you to come up with a great name for any unit I field, except for Lady Elizabeth or Lord Tremendous. They're going to keep their names. But if you wanted to name my Exalted Hero, or one of my units of warriors, or my Forsaken, or my dogs, even the Beast, if you want to name the Beast, go for it. But the trick is, you got to impress me. I mean, it's the free admission pass that I'm giving you, so impress me. Earn it. I know, kind of a foreign concept, but no. Earn it. Rename, just put it in the comments section. This will be going on for a little while yet, because it's out there for a little while, so everybody's going to get the opportunity to participate. But by all means, if you are available to go to the Redstone Rumble, October 4th and 5th in Huntsville, Alabama, and you want to get in for free, and you have a little bit of cleverness in you, or somebody you know is clever, rename one of my units. Put it in the comments section below. Just mark it, hey, here's my entry, this is the unit, this is what I think they should be named. The one that wows me, the one that makes me go, oh, I like that, is the one I'm going to choose, and you will get free admission to this event, the Redstone Rumble. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, or whatever like that, just go ahead and go over to www.redstonerumble.com. Check them out. You can get their contact info and stuff like that. They'd be thrilled to talk to you, I'm sure, answer all your questions. Really cool guys, real big in the Warhammer scene. But yeah, guys, this is your opportunity to not only name one of Lord Tremendous's units, but to also get yourself a free ticket to a major event. It's worth it. Do it. Yep, as you can already kind of tell, if you were watching even 5 minutes of this, it was an utter victory for Lord Tremendous. I tabled those filthy elves. I ended up losing Cass, sorry buddy, my Warhounds and my Knights. The Wood Elves lost everything, and that's what they deserve to lose, because they're filthy pointy ears. It was a shorter game. 2,200 point battles tend to be, in my experience now, which is... it's kind of nice. It makes the battle reports easier to do because there's not as much to remember. But for the most part, yeah, it's quite fun. And don't get me wrong, me and my opponent had a real good time. I have no doubt he's going to redo his list and be able to just take me out, no problem. Having my Demon Prince back after so long running the Sorcerer Lord really showed me what I was missing. For the most part, I put Cass in the list in order to hunt down war machines and stuff like that, so that when I do go up against, an army that has an ability to take out my Demon Prince, Cass can step in there and try to take him out before they can take out my Demon Prince. Hopefully he can hide behind, like, the Beast or terrain or something like that, make it really hard for them to kill him. But that's the hope anyway. But yeah, as you can see in this game especially, he worked out very well. I was very pleased with how this army flowed. It's amazing what happens too when you don't hesitate. I thought about it at first, like, ooh, I should hold off because of the forests and dangerous terrain and blah blah blah, and it was like, if I do that, he's gonna shoot me and magic me off the table, and that would be horrible. So I just charged through and it worked out. It could have went the other way real easy. Real easy. If his Wild Riders had made that charge into the Beast, the Beast probably would have died. Had they made it into the dogs or whatever, I didn't flee with them, and they killed the dogs, overran into the Knights or into the Warriors, and then the other unit hit the Warriors, that would have been awful. I mean, there's a lot of things that could have went the other way had I just made one or two more mistakes. But for the most part, my opponent never really got a chance to do anything. I was on him in turn 2, and that was what really changed the game, in my opinion. However, I'm not going to discredit my intense hatred and racism towards pointy ears that made this possible. I did have a chip on my shoulder about how the Elves had almost tabled me last game, so I did come into this game, full throttle, guns blazing, rip-roaring, and ready to go. Oh, but all humbleness aside, gods bless, do I enjoy killing elves. Oh, I know that makes me a terrible person, but it's true. I like killing elves more than anything else. Nothing against my opponent. He's still a great opponent. Definitely one of my favorite opponents, but he's fantastic. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to give more elves a chance to die for their country, because apparently that's what they want. But, yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It's more of an appetizer than to my usual 40-minute long ones, I'm sure. But, hey, you know what? it's another shot, another look at the Wood Elves. They are not invincible, but they are still very competitive. Even though this one really went my way, I still lost my Knights. I still lost an unkillable character, quote unquote, and my Warhounds. But everybody kills my Warhounds, or runs them off, or whatever. But they aren't unbeatable, and that's a good thing. And yeah, I still really like the Wood Elves. I won't go so far as to say that I respect them. However, if I ever did get amnesia and forget about my intense racism towards them, I would probably play Wood Elves if I was going to play a flavor of elf. I won't though, so don't even let that rumor start. I'll never play elves. I'll only kill them, or occasionally maybe for a triumphant treachery team up with them. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this one. As always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, feel free to put them in the comment section below. But yeah, guys, thanks.